Today, I want to talk with you about something that a lot of you get into, a situation that is not so easy to handle, which requires a little bit of sensitivity. And that is when you have to influence across your organization and build something which you could call a virtual organization. And we don't mean with that a home office based organization, but simply an organization where you have to influence people in a community or outside of your reporting line. So that happens more and more in federated organizations where you have data teams or other kind of data experts spread across the organizations. You have data scientists or AI engineers, maybe here and there. You have analysts and sometimes even data engineers, or sometimes full edge data teams that are sitting in different parts of the business. And sometimes as a central data leader, you have to influence all of them. And an expectation of the board towards you is to actually solve problems together. Now, the thing is, they are in their day-to-day business. So how do you get them along so you solve end-to-end problems for the company? And I was in a situation a number of years back when I had to work across a number of brands coming from a holding position, so working for a group level role. And the first thing that I did was actually to get everyone in that has a big influence on data topics inside one room. So I flew everyone in, so around 50 people who basically were the key people in the group across the different brands around the world, the key influencers of data in these brands. Second thing that I did was with these people, we figured out what the key problems were for them. And this way, we actually influence group level strategy using their problems and putting into, and understanding what are the patterns, what are the problems that everyone is running into. And it turned out that we had 5 big problems. One was that there was not a clear strategy for data in any of the brands, that there was a missing, not really clarified organizational setup for data, that data access was a problem, data education and skill levels were a problem, and that there was a missing common platform. And so we took those big 5 problems that everyone had, we created a community around it, and inside that community, we worked on these problems together across the brands. The cool thing is that we brought it up to the group level board. So that group received a mandate to actually solve problems together. So there was a top-down mandate, but there was also a bottom line movement. And if that 2 things basically come together, that's actually very strong. The third thing that we did was we created committees on brand and group level, and we used our community actually, the key people in the brands that were our counterparts, actually as a preparation, you could say coordination meeting for these top management committees. This way we empowered the key people in our community, and there was a reason why we meet, because there was a follow-up afterwards on board level on these topics from time to time. So actually we managed to have a slot both in the brand boards and also in the group level board from time to time. So every 2 months, like a 15-minute slot, which we could fill with data related steering topics, which was fabulous. On the platform, we actually aligned everyone to understand what are the biggest needs that we have, and we created an architecture for these different needs. And we aligned that we're gonna co-create this new architecture together across brands. So several brands take different portions of the architecture and deliver their parts. And finally, we worked actually centrally with legal to ensure that we streamline a data access process across the brands so that is compliant and that gives faster access to data. Finally, and this was maybe the most powerful one for our community, was the thing that we created around education. And we actually started with education for our core community and for our core coordination team across the brands. So we said, let's invest into these guys because they will be a multiplier. And actually, that is exactly what happened. So we created a 12-month program where every month we would meet in a different brand location across Europe, and would fly in everyone. And this way we really created a very strong community, and we created a top-notch world-class program to make everyone a world-class data and AI leader. And that influenced inside the brands. And I want to share a last life hack for leading virtual teams here from this story. And that is that I had the opportunity to have a few people in my team centrally. And actually, instead of using them solely for central topics, I actually sent each of them to one of the brands to work and help alongside these people that are embedded inside the brands to get traction, to build brand strategies, to build brand data teams, and AI teams. And to this way, we actually empowered these people even more, and our bond to the brands were very strong. I hope that helps you when you set up virtual teams and you have to influence across in a matrix or a community style organization. And so don't give up. It is possible. And it's all about finding the right angle so people have a motivation to come together, and you have both the top-down commitment and decision-making and the bottom-up enthusiasm that connects to that top-down. And you actually solve real problems together. And this is where you get traction. I hope you enjoyed it. See you next time at the Data Masterclass Insights, and have a great day.